business is your business. It's all up in my lady business with me, Mary Nisi. Welcome to All Up in My Lady Business today. I am here with Melissa, and we are going to be talking about mixing business and friendship and the slings and arrows of that outrageous fortune, and talking about how to treat your DJ with dignity and respect, and trying to understand a little bit how we feel on the other side of the DJ booth. Stay tuned. It's going to be a wild ride. Hey, Melissa.
What's up, friend? It's been a minute.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
Literally. I was thinking that today we could talk about like my trip or something and what's going on in the world, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely talk about your trip.
Do you have anything you want to get on we could talk about?
No, not in particular. I could talk about how much hot glue my daughter has just accumulated piles of on this table.
Hot glue?
Yeah, she was trying to make these stacks of gems, and she was just gluing stacks of gems together.
What kind of gems are they?
Just like this kind of gem, just like a little.
Oh, the ones that are truly outrageous?
Gem is my ooh, gem. Hopefully the dog doesn't see the post person. She'll probably hear him though.
I will have to say though, I am impressed by how on time your post person is.
Every time we have the podcast, the post person has to come and make the dog go completely apeshit. That is true.
Post person always barks twice.
The post person always, he's cool. He's cool as hell too, though. I love him. He's super buff and like nice as hell. But he doesn't use the sidewalk. He walks across the yard, and that makes me a little like, I know. It's like
he's not following the rules.
I have a perfect blanket of snow in my front yard, and then all of a sudden I've got these, it was a very first world problem. But anyway, just aggravate. It's just like, use the sidewalk, man. Get some extra stuff.
It's also a little bit of like breaking the social contract. Like, like we made the paths. We made this non-porous concrete thing that's bad for the environment. At least use it so that there's purpose behind the bad thing that we did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, but he is adorable, and I love him, and whatever. He's a good mailman. So yeah, you had a lot of stuff going on this week. I mean, let's just unpack it all.
Did we do a recap of the last Hot Flash dance?
I don't think we did that either.
Okay.
And I don't know if you want to get into the problem of working for friends, or if that, if your friends.
Ooh. I do think that having friends hire you to do things, or you work with friends to do things, because I always want to work with friends. Like it's, it is, like you want to be friends. Like, hey, yeah, like you're a small business, I'm a small business, or you're, a hustler out there in the world, and you want to work with those people. But I mean, it's kind of like, I don't really like doing friends' weddings, like even like as the company, like if a friend asks me to DJ something, I'll push it off on another DJ.
Sure.
Because I don't want to have to deal with and it's more me than them, because I'm the one who's making the boundaries, and if I'm going to make the boundary porous, that's kind of like they've never done this before. I have. I know what the pitfalls are. They don't.
Yeah. But basically it's like the get curious of it all. It's like, before we do this, why are you hiring me?
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, if you're hiring me for my expertise and being, the queen of the dance floor and being able to like program and be dynamic and read rooms, and you want to just basically outsource this to me, I'm your gal. But if you're hiring me because you think that it'll be easier to manipulate me into doing what you want.
And I don't think they would see it that way. So they wouldn't see it as like manipulating,
Sure.
I don't think they see it as manipulative. I think they sort of see it as like, oh, maybe I'll hire Mary because I can be more collaborative with her, or she'll play stuff that other DJs wouldn't play, which is actually true.
Yeah.
But I think on a similar note to what you just said, it's like, am I hiring Mary because she owns the best DJ company in Chicago, or am I hiring Mary because my friend owns a DJ company, I need a DJ? And I don't I don't really care what they have to offer. The worst thing is maybe she'll give me a discount. It always kinda bums me out when my friends ask for discounts because it's like you're literally taking money out of my pocket. Like, and you were gonna pay full price with somebody else, and you were gonna gladly pay that other company full price. But, if I give you a discount, like, it's like there's no it's a discount for no reason because 'cause I'm not gonna do less than I would do for other people. In fact, I'll probably do more than I would do for other people. So maybe you should think about it that perspective is that I'm gonna pay Mary full price because she is gonna do a great job, and I mean, she'd probably do a little bit more for me, like, maybe she'll,
Yeah.
care more
Yeah.
or whatever, and
Yeah.
that's not true. I mean, I don't even know what more I could do really for a client
Sure.
that I wouldn't do.
Sure.
I mean, actually, things I would do for a friend would be like, I will never line up a wedding party for the ceremony. I make it very clear, like, ceremony is someone else. Like, I
Yeah.
want nothing to do
Yeah.
with order of people walking in, lining them up, telling you how to do it. Like, I don't want anything to do with ceremony,
No.
and
Yeah.
I would probably advise on ceremony if they didn't have a planner. That would be probably the thing I would go above and beyond on because if I fuck it up, they're probably gonna be way more nice to me about it. But I would make it very clear, "I'm doing this thing I never do." And I think that that's also something if you're doing something more, you should make it clear that
Yeah.
you're doing it more. But that said, it's like, when I do give discounts and it's never like I mean, like I try to never give discounts if I don't have to.
Yeah. I really like our sort of policy that we've kind of landed on, which is that like we just don't discount people, you know?
Mhm.
It's like I can justify throwing in, some uplights or some,
Yeah.
tubes
Or
or
a discount
something.
on the photo booth.
Yeah, something like that once I already have, somebody assigned, but like there's a reason that we call it talent.
Mhm.
And like we had somebody this week ask about well for, this is for a high school fundraiser and it's like, so
You were gonna have to pay for this in some way.
yeah.
Also, like,
Um,
is
do
it
you
in
want
my
it to go
community?
really well? Then hire us,
Yeah.
like
And I mean, do you want it to go well? Are you looking for what we have to give? Because, you can't go to the caterer and say, this is a high school fundraiser. Don't
mhm,
charge us for the food.
yeah.
Like, why is it so much easier to wrap their head around a tangible object than it
Mhm.
is the actual blood, sweat, and tears of the human who's actually doing it?
Yeah. And the experience that they have, the ability to anticipate issues and make sure that those issues don't make everybody have a shitty time, which results in
Mhm.
them not giving you any money. So, like, let's think about it.
And it's also the difference really between like a person at the beginning of their career and a person who's 20 years in. When I was early on in my career, I did shit for free
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time. All the
Yes.
time. And I did it gladly because for the most part, almost everything I did for free like came back to me in some way. Like, and I one of my knacks, and this is kind of the same thing true with Hot Flash Dance, is I liked putting DJs where there weren't DJs before. Like that was, and I feel like that was kind of one of my things when I got my equipment. I'm like, I got all this equipment. Where can I do it? And I'm like, my friend has their work is having an event. I'd be like, can I DJ
Mhm.
that? I DJ'd at a
Yeah.
Sephora.
Yeah,
I
that's
did,
like a whole thing now.
yeah, but I was like, hey, I was at a Sephora and I was like, hey, can I come in and DJ on the weekends, like when I'm not working? And they were like, okay. And so I DJ'd at like, well, Toast and Jam DJs. It was me and other DJs who were cycling through, but we DJ'd at the old, and it was at the it's one of these things where I'm like, be careful what you offer because it was at Water Tower. It was a Sephora
Gosh.
at Water Tower,
Gosh.
which is like a bitch to get to, horrifying to load into. It was, but whatever. It was a
Yeah.
lesson learned.
You did.
But
You gained experience from that
yeah,
informed future choices that probably gave you, like, sanity and perspective and, yeah, what to say no to so you could be ready for the next thing to say yes to.
yeah. I mean, it's like when I'm a DJ, when I'm on the DJ forums that I'm on, the endless cycle of where I really see politically the worst people in the world. But there'll be people who are like, I got this offer for like a bar, to DJ at my friend's barbecue, and they're only paying me $150. Woohoo. And I'm like, well, what happens when you get an offer to DJ a $1,000 wedding. Like, I learned kind of early on, like, especially when I was doing all this stuff for free in the beginning, like once I started doing all this stuff for free and then I would get offers for paid stuff. And then I would have to, and I was such a, I couldn't go back to the free person and say, hey, I got offered a free thing or a paid thing.
Yeah.
At least I felt that I
Yeah. You
couldn't
got to make the
renege on
choice.
that.
I sort
And
of feel like that's something you
you live and
say
you
yes,
learn.
do what you said you were going to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and so then that's why it's like, "Oh, I have to stop doing shit for free," because when I do shit for free, I still feel this obligation as if I was paid, and I'm not getting paid, and and it's not that they're undervaluing it, it's because they don't understand the value of what I bring, and to be fair, in my early years, I wasn't giving the same value that I'm giving now. My heart
Right.
was in the right place, I was doing the
Yeah.
best I could,
Right.
but I do think it's fucked up when people expect a discount from their friends who run small businesses.
Yeah, I really think it's got to be that kind of question of like, why do you want to, book me?
I mean, and on the
'Cause
other
I used
side
to
of it,
have
it's like, or it's why do you think you deserve a discount?
or that too. Explain yourself. But yeah, back whenever I was doing, design, like it was kind of the same thing. Like I would want to be like, are you hiring me because you really appreciate my point of view and my style and my organization, or because you think it'll be cheaper? I didn't ask that question enough back in those days. But yeah, I should have held fast more
Well, and
to
it takes a lot of
I
bravery
did a lot of
also
free
to have the
designing.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wanna make it clear to all my friends who are potentially listening, all my ones of friends that are listening to this that have maybe not taken advantage, but I offered free things to. I really I do love you, but if you'll notice that in the last 10 years, I probably didn't DJ anything for free for you, and I
Yeah.
didn't offer discounts, and I was like, "Thank you for using my small business. It's
Mhm.
women-owned," and,
Yeah.
and
Um, it was just a sidebar that's related, that was kind of interesting that happened this week that I haven't really told you yet, but somebody had requested a lady DJ. It didn't make it into the proper part of the planning form, and so they didn't get assigned a lady DJ. And then they came back and were like, because of this, we don't want to work with you anymore. But anyway, so I sent this email that you will love. I was like, should I ask Mary about this? And then I was like, no, you've got this. Like you can do it. So what I responded was basically, so what you're saying is that because of a rare admin oversight, you want to bump a small woman owned business with largely, woman office, staff and many lady DJs from your lady birthday party because of a tiny oversight that can still very much be fixed in a way ahead of time.
yeah, and also, frankly, like, the men that work for us are not there's few of
They're green
them, and
flags.
they're
We got
by
green flags.
design. Yeah, like all of
Yeah.
our like if a man makes it, especially now, if a man makes it onto our staff, they have I mean, they are an exception, and that's why
Yes.
they work for me.
But anyway, the sort of thing that was so poignant to me about it was like, okay, so obviously having a female DJ is important to you. So you're going to throw the entire lady DJ company under the bus because of one suggestion that didn't make it into a box
Did
where I
we
would have.
did we have any females available?
We do. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
we just happened to assign a male and,
It wasn't requested and I saw the music and was like, "Oh, this is perfect. Here you go, guy DJ." And then yeah. So
the
anyway, it
other
was just like this idea of like put your values where your money is and have a little bit of compassion for the fact that not everything goes perfectly all the time. Why does it have to be absolutely perfect
The
all
other
the
thing is that I mean, I am again 20 years deep into this business, 25 in the industry. There's not that many women. So
Yeah,
if that is going to be you might not that might not be a thing that anybody can fulfill outside this company.
it's
Like it's
possible.
and
But
did
anyway, it
they
was
just
just
did
so
they
I
just
haven't
come
heard
back
back
and
from them.
so wait, did they just come back and say, "Sorry, we're not going to work with you because you gave us a guy?" Or
It was
did
basically
they
like, "I'm concerned, because of this, like, administrative oversight that you aren't gonna be, like, a great company to work for," or something, like, something along those lines. Like, like, I don't think you'll be able to, like, handle my event because of this,
It was a birthday party?
Yeah. And an important one, but like an all-girl birthday party. So, like, I was very clear, like, no excuses. We should have had this in the right place. We didn't see it, whatever. But like, we're still several weeks, like you literally just booked us. So we're not off schedule. All this is a quick switcheroo. We've retained all of the information about this event. It's been transferred to the person who will actually do the event. So I was basically like, give this lady DJ a shot. Meet with them. If you don't feel like you are in the absolute best possible hands, then I'll let you go. Like, fine. We don't want you to feel like we've strong-armed you into using us, but put your values where your
Yeah.
freaking dollars are.
Well,
I'm tired
and
of
like,
it.
and in their defense, though, in their defense is
Sure.
that this is, like the customer service side of that
Yeah.
is, and with weddings, I understand it's very specifically, like if they're going to make a mistake this early on, they can catastrophize out and say like, oh my God, if they didn't get this, are they going to forget
Yeah.
to, do X, Y, and Z? And so it
Totally.
is like, it is a very big deal to me when we do have a situation where we assign a DJ and the DJ is like, oops, I forgot to put my availability, or, the salesperson's late for or misses the
Yeah.
meeting or
Yeah.
whatever. Like
Yeah.
these little things, these are the cracks that
100.
create the huge problem down the road. So I get that the fact that we missed that she wanted a female DJ was important to her, and that's what they
Completely.
wanted.
Completely.
And I'm sure that's part of the reason why you redid the meeting form, because there's probably something on there now about it. And that's another thing. We figured it out. Like, hey, now we've got a thing on there that says wants a female DJ in a box that gets checked versus like, I mean,
Or whatever. It's like,
yeah.
what do you have any preferences, for your DJ? And, that is the box that got missed getting filled, which is why I didn't consider that in the assignment. I only considered, oh, you want a rager? I got you. But
But
yes,
for a
no, you're
birthday
right.
party, it's like, okay, I mean, I don't know.
Sure. There could be something else going on, but if that, I guess my thing was like, I'm going to, hold up a mirror and be like, if this is actually important to you and you care about not just, bailing on a moment's notice because of something that, in the grand scheme of things has nothing to do with day of, nothing to do specifically with your DJ, and no harm has actually been done. Like, give us a second chance. And also let people try to win you back. Second chances are like a thing that we should maybe be a little bit more open to in this world,
Also,
potentially.
on our website, we've got like what 24 web DJs on there. Like just because
Yeah.
we assigned you a male. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's more. Like we've got lots of them. Like
Yeah.
it's, I don't know.
So
It's
anyway, it was just kind of an interesting one, sort of tangent to this idea of like, why are you booking, a certain, company, and yeah, put your money where your mouth is. I
well,
don't know.
the worst thing is
Interesting.
when we assign a female and then they come back and they're like, um, I've never
This
seen a
isn't the
woman.
vibe we're going for. That's always my favorite one. It doesn't really fit the vibe. Okay, so what? It's gonna be like, your wedding reception is Magic Mike XXI? Like
Yeah.
what's the vibe
Or
that requires a dude?
Or I've never heard a woman do emceeing, so therefore I can't have it, like, or they can be the DJ, but can like you have a man come and do the I remember we got
People
that
only
not too
listen
long
to
ago.
guys,
Well, and it's just like, so you've never like listened to the news and heard a woman, Lisa Labez on WBEZ saying the news or whatever. You don't believe the news because a woman's saying it. Like, what the
Lisa
hell? Like,
Levis.
shout out to Lisa Labez.
Yeah. Oak Parker, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Oak Park, I think.
Back when I was on WLUW, the first radio
Pardon.
station that I was on Loyola, when we lost, I don't know if you talked through the whole radio saga of how this happened, but anyway, when I was on WLUW, we had this like a managing agreement with WBEZ where they helped us with our fundraising. And that's why I'm so good at fundraising, is because I was trained by like the head of their, what's the word for when you're raising money for things? Anyway, their fundraising person. Andrew Argenbright was his name. Am I getting early Alzheimer's?
No.
You promise?
Names are hard. Yeah.
Anyway, Lisa Labez came. So back when we would do those when we did the training, we do fundraising, we would on-air pledge drives, and we actually had a room with 6 phones so that we could have people take, donations, and you had to work the phones because this was well before the internet, and so or not before the internet. The internet existed, but, like, not you couldn't just do pledge drives to the website. And I did pledge. She volunteered to come up and do on air pledge to donation taking,
Love it.
and I got to hang out with her for an entire afternoon. And when I tell you that was a thrill, that was a thrill. And then one time she was in front of me at the grocery store, and she didn't remember my face, and I didn't remember her face, but she was talking to the grocer lady, and I was like, "You're Lisa Labez," and she's like, "I am," and I'm like, I recognized your voice, but we met before, and it was like, no, she didn't remember me. But,
Funny.
or maybe she did. I don't know. Actually, I think she did because it's kind of a weird place to meet someone.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, I don't know how we got on this. Oh, women's voices. So when we have people that will come when they get assigned a woman, and then they come back and they're like, we want a man. Like I've I've had them come back and say that, like, for religious reasons, but like it's a Muslim wedding and we need a male DJ, and I kind of feel like that can be a reason to change. But also, you came to a company where almost all the DJs on it are women. You didn't look at them. You didn't. I mean, and maybe they didn't. I mean, there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it was weird to come to a woman-owned, women mostly DJ company,
Yes.
get assigned a woman, and then be like surprised.
Yeah. Totes. Yeah, it's an interesting space to navigate. Like even this week we were talking about, and this is like kind of related and tricky to like talk about and tricky to have like policies around and canned responses, but like, we don't have a super strong foundation or expertise in non-Western weddings,
Hmm.
right? And like even the language around it, I'm, not super informed about, but it's like, we kind of have this pretty solid stance of like, we're assigning your DJ super early. We're going to talk through everything. So if you have anything special, whether it's cultural, religious, like we're going to have enough runway to kind of work through that, figure out exactly how you want it articulated, just the same as we would any element of your big day. But sort of the comfort or maybe assumption that a DJ who has experience having done those things before would do it better or could do it better. And so we're just kind of working through this idea of like, what is our response to somebody who asks, if we can do like a 2-day Indian, wedding with a barat and like all of
Hmm.
these other,
Mendes and all that.
elements that we don't get asked to do that often. And then when you're coming to, training, new DJs, like how much of it can be anticipated, just like, again, any wedding, and how do you, talk about it, and how do you, like explain that, we might not be the best fit if really the best part of key thing that you're looking for is experience having done those things.
Hmm. Well, I would say that, I mean, it's very rare that we're doing like a completely, like, both sides are an ethnic, or, are culturally not
For
American,
us,
not.
yes.
And so I think where we kind of excel, in my opinion, what I would hope is that, we're going to do our best to make these things work together. And so it's like not having to completely learn, an entire Indian, like the 2 days of it all, or even the 3 days of it all. Sometimes we've gotten
Yeah.
asked to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that what the only way you can really train to that is, if you ever done it, really remember what you did and know that this is something that, like Jewish weddings, like I have been told that I am more Jewish about weddings than Jewish people are, because I've done so many Jewish weddings, and I can bring up, like, are you going into seclusion? Are you doing the hamotzi? Like, are you like, and I can go through, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, never mind. If you don't, and they're like, wait, should I do these things? And I'm like, if you don't know about them, you don't need to care about
Yeah.
them. But like,
Yeah.
and so
There's
because
still
it does.
questions I should ask.
And or not, like, I mean, if I could not ask those questions and they could get sprung on me, and it's really, we should be able to just turn on a dime and be able to pull these things off, because they're just versions of introductions, they're versions of toast, they're versions of ceremony. And so there's not very many different things. It's like, can you do a hora? I'm like, I have several horas. That is just hitting
Yeah.
play in a song. I'm not getting out
Yeah.
there and teaching you how to put people on chairs. But I do think that the kind of people that I want working for me are the people that are, curious, that will Google, how to do jumping the broom, how to do a horror if you've never seen it, like how to do, the tarantella if you're doing an Italian wedding. Like there's things that none of this is a mystery. None of this is like hidden
Yeah.
information.
Well, that's kind of the approach about any aspect of your wedding. If you came to me and said that you wanted to do, a flash mob in the middle of your reception or something, like that's still a thing that we have to acclimate to, consider, figure out what your version of a flash mob is.
Mhm.
And fit that into the timeline in a meaningful way, recognize how it's going to impact flow if we've talked about that. So like I guess the sort of question thing that I'm wondering about communicating around just like is the value of having experience, having done those things, when our approach is really about not what it is, but how you want it done. And why
Mhm.
does that have to be different depending on whether it's religious, cultural, whatever? It's just another part of it.
Well, I think that there's a difference between something that they want to do, like is something they want to do that's like, a non-negotiable that they have to do, and things that I'm like, I don't know if that's the greatest idea, and it's being able to tell them why, and setting the expectation, like, we can do an Elvis impersonator, and I think that's a fun idea. We can have an Elvis impersonator at your wedding. I think it's gonna be better to have them come during dinner than
Sure.
having them come during dancing. Because if they come during dancing, people who don't like Elvis will leave. And that's probably going to be most of people, because Elvis is an artist that at this point doesn't he has, I mean, I guess the movie came out, but like no one's requesting more Elvis. Like it's not like a thing that happens where, like when
Elvis
a
is not a
new,
trend.
yeah, it's not like when a new Guardians of the Galaxy movie comes out and all of a sudden introduces people to a bunch of like
Mhm.
fun, like Guardians of the Galaxy did more for wedding
90s movies.
DJs than
Yeah,
than you would imagine.
so funny.
And so it's letting people know, because I mean, all anything anybody's asking for at a wedding is a version of something we're already doing. And so I
Right.
think so for on the DJ side, it's like like what is the version of this that I'm used to doing? Like if it's like like there's something where it's a thing where like pastries are being kind of like whipped around, and there's like a thing where it involves cakes
No
and
idea.
moving them around or something, and I'm like, all right, this is a version of the cake cutting. Okay, how am I gonna like
Yeah,
make this work? And so it's, if you're doing something that's going to disrupt the flow, that doesn't, like an Elvis impersonator that doesn't have an analogy to just a general, just basic wedding,
sure.
it's figuring out the right place to do it, how long it should be,
Mhm.
where you're going to get the most impact. Cocktail hour is never a time to do anything. Like you cannot do anything special during cocktail hour. If you try to do anything during cocktail hour, no one's going to see it, because everybody's standing usually in a big group. There's no focal point. There's no,
Yeah,
whatever. But the bigger problem I find with the cultural combos is that usually it's like, oh, I'm from Mexico, but I don't really want to have my wedding be like all the other Mexican weddings that I've been to with my family. Like you can play one or two songs, but that's it. I will honor that. Like if you say you only want two Spanish speaking songs, I'm gonna do it. Two Mexican songs. I'm gonna do it. I will play only those two. However, 50% of that wedding has been only knows Mexican weddings potentially. And so they're like, where's this? Where's that? How about this song? How about that song? And I'm like, I don't, I was only allowed to play this. And then they're mad at me because I only have two songs, or they're mad at me for allowing this to happen. That's the other thing, is where they're like, how can you have a wedding like this? Like what kind of there's nothing that makes my insides turn to dust faster. What kind of DJ are you if you don't do this? What kind of DJ doesn't do line dances? What kind of DJ doesn't have, won't play Paradise by the Dashboard Light? What kind of, and it's like, this one, this is the one. I will tell you, Melissa, I don't want you to like, because I know you tend to take things personally when I tell you
oh,
stories that
yeah.
involve you. But at the last Hot Flash Dance that we did, which was an epic,
It
incredible
was a
night.
good
It
throwdown.
was truly one of the best nights of my life. But there was
Yeah.
some women that came up. Melissa was on the stage with me, and
Mhm.
I'm telling you the story as if I'm talking to the audience. Actually, I kind of am. So Melissa's standing on the stage with me, and there was 350 people at this Hot Flash Dance. It was
Mhm.
packed. And I usually put down a notebook for people to like make requests so that, I just have it. I mean, I'm not going to, it's not a promise. Again, I just want to know what you want. Whether or not I'm going to play it is up to me, which is great because at a wedding I would have to play it. And at this, I can, flip you the double bird and say it's not going to happen. I would never do that. I love everybody there. So this older woman comes up to Melissa or comes up to you and was like, there are actually what did they say? There actually are some menopausal women here, and I want you to play something that we
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
What did
more or
they say?
less. Yeah, I got a lot of really weird comments that night, which kind of made me feel like everyone here thinks they're the only one here in a weird way. But yeah, you were playing like too much contemporary music, and they were saying
Yeah.
like,
We're
actually,
menopausal. Play something we know, which
yeah,
is it is the worst way to ask me to play something
yeah,
because hey lady, guess what? I am also menopausal and
yeah,
this is the music I like.
yeah,
So don't act like you're I mean,
yeah,
I am playing what I want to play and I didn't advertise this as a retro night. I
yeah,
didn't advertise this as nostalgia.
no,
I advertised this as like a raging fucking dance party for, women. That was
yeah,
basically it.
that's it. Yeah,
And it's kind of stuck in my craw where I'm just like, because what they should have said is, can you play ABBA? Can you play
yeah.
Kenny Loggins? Can you play the Beatles? They don't come up and say, play something I can play. I want to dance
That's
too.
kind of what offended me about it too. And then I got another comment later in the night that like, and my response to it was, she's playing the music everyone in this room is asking for. Like by
Wait,
and large, at a
what did they
certain
say?
point,
What did they say?
to play more Black music. And I was like, I think you had literally just played like Kendrick or something. And I was like, okay, this is a really big basket. But it was also like, just got me thinking about, pre-requests and like, getting a sense of like who is actually coming out of this audience, this potential audience, because you're at a wedding, there are guardrails, somewhat kind of expectations of what the music is going to
Hmm.
be like, right? At least the first 90 minutes and maybe the second 90 minutes is a little more, couple focused and contemporary, but it was just such a like, I was really taken aback just because
Yeah.
of,
Kind of assaulting. It's a kind of
it's
assaulting question because
just
it's,
feeling like, again, as somebody who wants to think that we're approaching things from a very, broad
yeah.
perspective and trying to make everybody in the room happy, but you can only do so much of that. And it's like, when did you get here? Did you get here 2 hours ago? Did you get here 3 hours ago? Like, do you think that you know everything that we've already, that
Hmm.
you've already played? Like, it was just so loaded. And maybe that was me. Maybe I'm
No,
bringing the
because,
loaded to the party, but it was, I was disappointed because I felt like you were, when you think you're trying to do something and somebody brings up that you aren't doing that for them, you're kind of like, "Oh, okay, what
well,
am I doing wrong?"
that's a different. I mean, I almost I hear that side of it, but that
Mhm.
person also wrote that on the request book too,
Mm.
and it's. I mean, this is a delicate conversation, and I don't
Sure.
want to sit here
Yeah.
and like, but I bet you if I did an audit of what I played, at least 50% of it was made by people of color. I mean, I am not by any chance just like playing Sarah Bareilles, like I'm like,
Not even once.
I don't think I did play her at all.
I don't think you did.
Um,
Nothing against
uh,
Sarah Bareilles.
I could though. I could say, like there's a place for Brave. I
Yeah,
wanna see you. That's a kind of a fun
sure.
say. I mean, but whatever. Anyway, my point to that is that I was playing. I wasn't consciously only playing like white artists. If that is, I don't think I could DJ an entire dance set of only white people. I don't think that's possible. But
Certainly
also,
not without absolutely aiming to.
yeah, but it's like play Black music. It's like I kind of don't know. Are there Black artists that Black people don't listen to? Like what is your idea of Black artists? Was it the Kendrick that I played? Was it the Prince that I played?
Yeah,
Like I don't. I'm in no way am I trying to. But then it also makes me now. I'm thinking to myself, wow, I probably should factor that into what I'm playing now. And now I'm going to have that in my head, which is good. I think it's good for
right.
me to like
Yes, yes.
think that way. But to say to like a white female woman DJ, like play more Black music. It's like, okay, it makes me feel like, oh shit, am I I
Yes.
need to check my privilege. Am I
Because the
not?
drive is that you want to, right? You want to play the music that is going to, at least make everyone in the room feel seen and like what they want to dance to is important to you as a DJ. But then it's so, the universe of music is massive, right? And then like just being able to kind of know what you mean by that and sort of again, not blaming anyone for bringing up what they want, but like being constructive, or specific just to give us a little bit more of a direction into what that means for you is,
Yeah,
a
and admittedly, hip hop, especially contemporary hip hop, is not my forte. I'm not gonna lie that hip hop is not. I mean, I know what I know, but it's not. I'm a white woman, and it's not that white women can't like hip hop, but
or
it's really slow music. Like it's like almost all hip hop is like 70 or
Mhm.
like no more than 92. Like and so it's hard music to dance to. Is that what she meant by black music? I don't know,
Yeah. We won't
but
probably ever know maybe.
well, but the thing is that, like, I mean, admittedly, like, the people that come to it, it is a
Mhm.
lot of white women Instagram out there.
Mhm.
And so it is I'm glad when I see people of color that aren't just a bunch of, middle-aged white
Yeah.
ladies, but that is the room I'm playing to.
Yeah.
So, and I do, I mean, and now I'm gonna go back and look at my music and see, like, what I played because
Yeah, I don't no complex intended, but it just was, these kinds of things that like you bring me into a lot of spaces I've never been before. And, I come to them with kind of some preconceived notions or biases that are, maybe unintended, but part of who I am. And then I'm like, oh, this is different than I was expecting, or this is similar, whatever. I'm just evaluating. And like, I don't know, I came to it with this kind of I've never been to one in Evanston either. So that was like another, from like my Oak Park to Evanston
and it
distinction of
is
what an
different.
HFD is.
It is different.
It was different. It was different also that it was like, nearly twice, if not bigger, even bigger than twice the size of the other, events that I've done with you. So it was just like, it was just interesting. Like it was definitely much more of a, like the, the sort of fervor over the book, to like write in and like, it was just interesting. I don't know.
Well, and I think people, especially when they see other people writing,
Mhm.
people were they get first of all, when people see the book, they're like, "I can make a request," and it's like, "Well, no, you can give me a suggestion." There, I
Right.
don't take requests. I take suggestions. They aren't a promise. I mean, but I actually kind of feel that way about weddings too. Like, I'm not going to
Yeah.
let a wedding get
I
torpedoed
love
unless
your idea of making an actual notebook that says
we are
that.
going to. I made it.
Okay,
I
good.
actually came up with an idea today.
I love it.
But I think the book is good because that's why I know what this room wants, or at least I have an idea. So if somebody does write down, you know, uh 90s hip hop, that nothing drives me more crazy because I play a lot of 90s hip hop and like what specifically do you want? That's 10 years and it started off with, you know, Run DMC and ended with Tupac. So I don't know like I mean actually I don't know if Tupac made it to 99. Did he die in 99? I just
I don't
watched the
know.
Biggie or the Diddy documentary. Don't watch it. It's
Don't
horrifying.
watch it.
But I just want artists. Just say the name of someone. I cannot do genre wide because even genre, unless it's micro genre, unless you're like, I want Manchester New Wave. Like, I got you on that one, but I don't have you, like I can't just saying like 80s music, like my idea of 80s and your idea of 80s can be two completely different things. But that said, if somebody does give me that broad of a thing, I have enough experience and I can look at the room and I
Mhm.
can see like the first hot flash dance I did at Evanston, because the ones we do in Oak Park, how would you describe the ones in Oak Park?
I think having the perspective now, like, I mean, the ones in Oak Park feel like, I don't know, they weren't
Ed,
that dissimilar. They're smaller at Roberts, but I think it's like
not the next one.
definitely
The next one.
sweatier,
Yeah.
like maybe a little bit more down and dirty. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, am I
I would
just
say
being
they're
too
edgier. I would say that Oak Park
maybe?
ones have been
Feel
a
a
little more.
little
I feel it's easier for me to like play Nine Inch Nails or whatever. Like,
way. Okay, yes. That distinction I definitely can recognize now because you played Nine Inch Nails, you did something else that was like pretty hard, and I feel
yeah,
like there was a good response
yeah.
to that.
But I will say because and especially when you have more people there, you're getting more types of people. It's like I look out at the ones in Evanston and I'm like, okay, this is more weddingy. Like I'm not gonna be playing more wedding music, but I'm gonna be playing more like I need to be more broad with the genres, which is kind of irritating by those ladies because I was really actively trying to play stuff from the 70s till now. Like it was an active I was
Everyone was there to the last minute. No one was mad. You did an amazing job.
I
It was
know.
just those,
I
like,
mean, thank you.
sort of the people that I think, had a very specific maybe idea of it going into it, and when they hadn't heard that, they were like, "Oh, I gotta take over and, make sure this goes the right direction," or something. Maybe that's just, like, having a lot of professional women in the same room that just
Yeah.
feel like, I gotta organize this because it's not
Mhm.
going quite the way that I imagined it would go. And then that was, my part is like, just let Mary, she knows what needs to happen. Just leave her alone.
Let me cook. Let me cook.
Let her cook, you know?
And it's well, but it's also it's like, I want this and I want it now. That's the
Yeah,
other
that's true.
irritating thing too, where it's like, if like, like actually what's I don't know, it's like when you make a request of something, like, first of all, in wedding DJ world, it's like people will almost always have someone at a wedding who's requesting the song I'm playing. That happens
My favorite.
all
Could
the
you just
time.
use your ears?
They'll request the artist that I'm playing. So I'll be playing like, 24 Karat Magic and they'll be like, "Can you play some Bruno Mars?" And I'm like, I am." And or they'll be like, "Can you play something I can dance to?" Like and like like kind of implying that like I'm not doing a good job and I go, "Turn around, sir." Like I mean, I don't like you're literally the only person here that's not dancing right now. And so it's this that you're right. It's like they act like they're the only one there
Yeah.
and this is only for them. But in many ways it is for them. So I do want to know. I do want to know
Yeah,
if I'm not
sure.
hitting the mark because I can try. Like the
Mhm.
only thing I'm never going to try is with country music. Sorry folks. I that's just never I'm never going to go down that road unless it's Dolly Parton is about it.
Sure.
But I'm
Jolene remix. Just
yeah,
kidding.
don't and I'm not going to play metal. And like it's not there's certain things that cuz you can't dance to it. Like you just
Yeah.
can't dance to it. And so and it's like trusting also my timing because like there's nothing worse than someone coming up and saying, "Hey, can you play this song? I'm about to leave. Can you play it before I leave?" And it's like,
Again, the
why would I wa
narcissism.
or just like why would I want to cater to the needs of someone who's not going to be here for much longer?
Bouncing out of my party in 5.
Yeah, like I'm unless you're like, I'm gonna leave in 5 unless you hear this. I don't take threats either. But it's like, why would I give you what you who the fuck are you? Like you're leaving. Why do I want to make you happy? Unless it makes you stay. But even then I don't care because you're giving me threats.
Yeah. We
Need
wanna
you
play to people like I was telling Chris about the other day when I was photo boothing an event and Allie was a DJ and this guy kept trying to go to the bathroom and then he couldn't like a song would come on right when he thought he was gonna be able to go in and then he was like, "I'm gonna have to keep holding it because I really need to be on the stand." That's our guy
yeah. I've
or
if you
gal.
look we have a to the folks who are listening, we have a wall of thank you cards in our office. And one of my favorite things we get on thank you cards when they'll say like, "I couldn't pee all night long because you were playing such great stuff." I bet you if you pull down all those cards, that probably said 10 times. Like,
Yes.
and it's
Something
like
yeah,
I love it. It's my favorite.
yeah, yeah.
But how did we all start on this, friends?
Well, I think our episode's kind of been like about the challenges of having a strong desire to appeal to our friends, our different cultures, different, perspectives and individuals who want what they want when they want it. And then, trying to have like a way to do that and maintain, our mission and our goals as well. That's kind of like the through line, it
Yeah, and
feels like.
I wanna kinda button something up because I don't want any friends of mine who I have done things for free or I have given discounts or anything to, like, be
Right.
feeling guilty or whatever. I agreed to it,
Yeah,
like, at the end of the day,
everybody
like
gets to choose.
yeah, like, I
Yeah.
agreed to do things. I did a bad job of putting my foot down. If I was irritated by it, like, that's on me. Like,
Yes.
it's like you can and, it's like people are always like, "It doesn't hurt to ask," and sometimes I do feel like it does hurt to ask,
Everything's
especially
circumstantial, like, you have to look at every situation in a unique way, and I am a a true believer that you can say one thing one day and then the next day say a completely different thing. You're just making choices based on what you know at that moment, and then that next day, things can feel differently, and you should be allowed.
I mean,
That shouldn't be
it's
a ding on anyone's personality for changing their mind. But yeah, it's like you were saying, like with the friends, side of things is like you you can say yes to things. You can say yes to one person and no to another person. It's like you just have to take all of the factors into consideration and then you make a choice. Yes, I want to do that, or no, that feels like too much, or no, that feels like this could impact our friendship in a
mhm.
way that is important to me that we don't. And so for
Well,
this reason I am,
that is
declining.
a lesson that I've learned all too well is the, friends and money. Because I will say that a lot of the times when friendships have fallen apart, it has been over money or things I'm doing for people that I, didn't whatever. It sucks. And the fact that money can ruin relationships is so shitty. And I'm not saying I'm not above it. Like I'm sure I've had friendships that I personally have fucked up over money on, whatever, but it's so gross when you think about the capitalistic side of that too, where it's like, money's not real, right? You know that money is like a thing that we all just kind of made up that has value that doesn't even like we
Yeah.
just that became so clear to me during the pandemic. Like, wow, like money, like especially when I was getting like those PPP checks and I would be like, I just got a check for like almost $300,000, and it was like, oh, so you just gave me money, like you just gave me this money, like it was so weird. I mean, it all got spent immediately on, payroll and expenses. It wasn't like it was
Yeah.
my money,
No, no.
but it was crazy that I just got sent that money. And then I kept getting more checks, that just kept getting forgiven. And it's like, so you could just forgive all of this. Like
You could.
like student loans. You could just forget you just
Cell game.
yeah, it
Um,
really is.
yeah, 100%. You made me think of a question, my almost 13-year-old asked the other day, which was like, oh, they were talking about, like, the Louisiana Purchase, she was saying, and, like, it was like, how did they, like, buy it? Did they, like, ship over a bunch of dollars? Like, and then that got us thinking about, like, the Wild West and, like, Wells Fargo and, like, train robberies and, like, all of this stuff because they used to actually move, like, real
Cash.
stuff. Yeah, and whatever. And the fact that I didn't really have actual good answers to that question also was like, how did they buy
Well, I mean,
Louisiana territory?
the real thing to think about is like, why did we think that we owned the land to then buy
Yes,
it or
that's another
sell it?
level,
Like,
of course.
I mean, this is a completely bigger topic, but just the
Yeah,
concept of like, no person is illegal on stolen land built with stolen
yeah.
hands. Like it's like I do believe that this country's gonna be fucked until we atone for those original sins. But whatever,
Weird.
that's a different conversation for a
That is
different
a whole
time.
different podcast, but yeah, we wanna do good stuff for everyone.
Yeah. So it's been a week. This has been a rough week. We
Yeah.
are taping this last week
At
in
the end
January.
end of January, which has been the most, like, just wild month,
Yeah. This month has lasted 14 years.
truly.
And my birthday was yesterday. No, it wasn't yesterday. My birthday was 2
When
days ago.
yeah, happy
Yeah.
birthday, Mary.
And Sebastian's was on Tuesday. And also, RIP. We had when I was in Panama as on the yoga retreat last week, my husband called me and he's like, Savvy Cat, one of our cats, was not doing well. And like, she wasn't even the one that I was worried about. Like, Serge, my other cat, is the one who's been having problems. And she just basically just shut down in real time. And we had to put her to sleep. And I had to like watch it over FaceTime. And it was probably in the top 3 to 5 worst things I've ever gone through was having to watch them put Savvy to sleep. And Sebastian was just wailing and crying, and he never cries. And I was just having to just like, at one point, I'm like, will you hug the phone? Will you hug the phone? I mean, I was a mess. I was not a stoic parent that day. I don't think I was, and I kept taking screenshots of Savvy and like there's like, the picture is like
Oh,
Savvy
yeah.
and then in the corner is like me looking like Claire Danes in the corner. I'm like, "Ugh," like looking terrible. And not Claire Danes hot. Claire Danes as she's crying. She's famously an ugly crier. And I am also an ugly crier. But it was real rough to come home and the ways that Savvy was in my life. Like, she was very diminished. I mean, she was 17 and diminished. But she would every morning she would scream at me to feed her, and she would sit in the bathroom while I would go to the bathroom in the morning and in the same spot. She would go to the same spot, just little things
hit her
but
mark.
yeah. So anyway, R.I.P. Savvy.
R.I.P. Savvy.
All right. Well, we were all over the
Of
place
your
today.
of your Kit Kats, the ones that actually would hang out with people.
Yeah. That's the one everybody knew. Everyone thought it was they called, my friend Katie calls Sarah's the bed cat because Sarah's just hangs out in my room.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's too bad that the bed cat died. I'm like, no, not the bed cat.
Not
It was
the
the
bed
cat
cat.
you know and love.
Yeah,
Everybody
not
knows and loves
the
Savvy.
only one you've ever seen.
Yeah, she's an attention whore. So
Oh, baby doll.
and actually I got a call yesterday saying that her ashes were back and her little paw prints we had made. And
Yeah.
I got to go get them.
I got a couple of those in the house too. Not from cats though, obviously.
Oh, from other animals. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. No,
Other
yes,
animals.
from Jacques and Willem. They're together in the same bag in the closet. I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, I know.
Another topic for another podcast. What do you do with your pet's ashes?
Yeah.
But I will miss that.
Sprinkle them in the litter box. It's a place that they loved.
That's true.
Well, Melissa, I think we think we nailed it today.
I mean, I'm glad that there was maybe something cohesive about this conversation.
Yeah.
And as always, love, I guess, trying to work through, some of the stuff that impacts how we approach business and life and trying to make the world a better place.
Yeah. You're the best, Melissa.
You're the best.
All right.
And I can't wait to hear about Panama IRL.
Yeah. It was magical.
Yeah. So we'll tackle that next week. All right.
All right. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to All Up in My Lady Business with me, Mary Nisi. We'd love for you to like, review, subscribe, follow us at All Up in My Lady Business on the gram. And if you're a female identifying person and you want to dance, you can follow. I mean, everybody can follow it. But if you want to be a part of the magic at Hot Flash Dance Party, sign up for the mailing list to find out where our next party is going to be. And if you are looking for a DJ in the Chicagoland area or anywhere else, money's the same color everywhere. Fly us out. ToastandJamDJs.com has the best. And listen to my radio show. I have a radio show on Chirp Radio at chirpradio.org. That's Mondays, every Monday from 12 until 3 p.m. CST. Today's episode is produced by Shiraz Dada. Theme song composed and performed by, you guessed it, Shiraz Dada. All right, guys. Peace out.